My dog is asleep over there. I can hear her snoring, so you probably can too. I apologise for that, but it's very cute snoring. So hi guys, a video. I feel like I want to talk more about why I sometimes just disappear and don't upload for a week or so, but I feel like this is not the right video, so I will keep it on the subject of makeup, and maybe I'll talk about that another time. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But yeah, today we're just going to talk about makeup. So I've been in a bit of a funk recently. I really haven't felt inspired kind of content-wise, ideas. I feel like I'm not the only person as well. I think it's kind of a widespread thing. So I thought to myself, what do I do when I'm in a funk? I go shopping. A little bit of retail therapy goes a long way in kind of making me feel a bit more inspired, a bit more creative. So I popped myself over to Space NK this morning and I picked up a few things that I'm really into. And there's a couple of other bits that I've been gathering over the last month, and I thought instead of just sitting here and holding things up and talking about them, I would just put them on my face. So this is going to be a beauty haul on my face. Also, this is the result of my peach hair experiment that you might have seen on Snapchat the other day. I'm loving this peach hair. So this is very close and personal. I never film videos this close anymore, but hello. So I'm going to start off with two of the things that I'm genuinely the most excited about ever. I mean, just look at these. These are two brushes from Artis. These are basically the new brush, and I've seen them all over Instagram. I'm so inspired by Instagram, should I say easily influenced into buying things by Instagram. I love watching little makeup videos on there, and 9 out of 10 times people are using these, so I thought I'm gonna bite the bullet and just buy them. They are magnificently expensive. I mean, they are just shocking, hence why it's taken me so long to actually save up for them and physically buy them, because it's a very tricky thing when you get to the till and see that number flashing up and you just want to run away. So I got two brushes, and I actually got two that I wasn't intending on buying. I got the 10, which is the larger size, and I also got the 6, and I'd gone in there to get the 9 and the 7. So the two that I wanted they didn't have in stock, so basically that was a slightly smaller one of this and a slightly larger one of this. But I thought these were kind of basically the same thing, and these basically look like hairbrushes. That's what I immediately associate these with whenever I look at them. They are so densely packed and actually incredibly soft. I actually sat there in the shop just kind of stroking my hand for a while with these. So yeah, I got the face one, which obviously will be for foundation, and then I also got the 6. Now this one I feel is going to be a lot more multi-purpose. I'm going to get a lot more use out of this one. I kind of explain it as it's basically the same size as the top of a Real Techniques Expert face brush. So this I think is going to be great for doing concealer, for highlighter, contouring as well, and just generally little things that I need to do across my face. So I'm excited to use both of these. They're just so soft. So good. So I thought I wouldn't mix things up too much and use a completely different foundation, because I kind of like to test brushes out with things that I know work for me already, just to see how much different they are. So I'm going to use the Urban Decay All Nighter foundation today. I haven't used this in a video yet, and I've been wearing it a lot recently. It's super full coverage, way more full coverage than I'm actually used to wearing. So I thought I would do something a little bit different, and this is actually another new thing that I bought recently. I'm mixing an oil with it. Again, this is so influenced by Instagram, but I've seen this particular oil all over people's videos, and to be honest, I don't know much about it. I just ordered it on a bit of a whim, and I thought I would give it a go. So this is the Farsali Rose Gold Elixir, and it's a 24 karat gold infused beauty oil, and you can actually see when you open it up that there are little droplets of gold in it. So I don't know where they're going to go when I actually put this on my face. Am I going to end up with gold leaf just scattered across my skin? We'll see. But basically mixing in a facial oil with a foundation, especially a full coverage foundation, is a really great way to kind of sheer it out a little bit, keep it nice and hydrating, and just make it look a lot more glowy. So I'm going to mix these two up today and we'll just see what happens. I'm just going to put these on the back of my hand. I kind of feel like squirting foundation directly onto this brush is not going to be the best thing. I think it's just going to suck everything up. So I've just put a pump of the All Nighter. You really don't need a lot of this because it is so full coverage. And then I'm going to mix in just, I think, 1 drop of this. Oh, maybe 2. I'll go for 2. I'm feeling generous today. Okay, so I've mixed them together, and then I'm just going to dot them, or dot that over my face. Ooh. I'm not sure what the best way of using this brush is going to be, but I feel like just slathering on a layer of this stuff and then blending it in might be the way to go. Looking sufficiently weird. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. I'm kind of nervous to use it. Okay. Okay. So I'm immediately noticing that this brush is absolutely massive. I think it's just going to take some getting used to because I don't tend to use anything this big on my face. That was very quick. It's blended it out just seamlessly, actually. Very easily. I'm not sure if there's a certain way you're supposed to use this, if you're supposed to sort of do it in circular motions, which actually feels quite difficult, so I'm just going to smooth it on. So kind of around my nose is where I feel like the slightly smaller brush would have come in a lot more handy, just because I'm having to use like the tip of this. Okay, but still, working pretty well. It looks like I'm dragging my skin really badly, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels very smooth. Also, side note, I think this foundation might actually be too light for me. That's never happened before. It's definitely messed up my eyebrows. It was really hard to avoid putting it on there. But actually, I love the finish of that. It's made the foundation look so much more natural, and it's just blended in so beautifully. I feel like that might be something to do with the face oil as well. This has also made the foundation feel a little bit more dewy, which I liked because it was quite a matte foundation. So I got one of these by Terry Touche Veloutes. These are kind of similar to something like the YSL Touche Eclat, or just a general kind of under eye highlighting concealer, which I don't tend to like usually because I need coverage under there. I really struggle with dark circles, so I need a good covering concealer, but this actually promises to be full coverage as well as highlighting, which I thought was very cool. So you basically click this up. The brush on this is huge. It's a lot bigger than I'm used to, almost to the point where you could kind of use it, I guess, to blend it in as well as to apply it. I'm not going to do that though because I'm going to use my Artis brush, but I am going to use this to kind of highlight underneath my eye. So I'm going to use it quite far down in a V shape and put that underneath both eyes. Ooh. It's actually quite hard to control how much of this comes out. So far it's looking as if it's more of a covering concealer than a highlighting one. I also got the shade number 2, which seems to look pretty good at the moment, although I could probably have done with something slightly lighter. So I'm going to stick with the kind of smoothing. It feels very weird to use this under my eyes. In fact, I haven't used a brush for my concealer for ages. I'm such a Beauty Blender fan now that is all I use. One thing I'm noticing is that it is kind of hard to blend out the edges. When you're smoothing the product across, it kind of leaves this sort of line on your face. And yeah, it kind of feels like I am dragging underneath my eye. To be honest, I'm not sure if I'm seeing a whole lot of difference there. This concealer is definitely not highlighted. I think it's probably covered a reasonable amount, but definitely not highlighted in the way that I expected it to. So I've just filled in my brows quickly because I'm not going to be talking about any brow products today. But now I'm going to use this for the thing that I'm most excited about, and that is for contouring. Now this is the kind of thing that swayed me into buying these brushes the most because they look like they are so good for using with cream contour. I'm just going to use this one here. This is from L'Oreal. It's the Infallible Sculpt Kit. I'm actually really back into using this at the moment. I think it's going to work well with this, so I'm literally just going to pop my brush in there and get some product on there. Probably going to put way too much on, and then pop that in my cheekbone. Again, disclaimer, I am the worst when it comes to contouring. I just can't do it. I think it's because my cheeks are just way too round. You know what? That is actually not that awful. Okay, I'm not sure if I should blend it in with this or go to my Beauty Blender. I'm going to stick with this and just see what I can manage. It actually gets a little bit sloppier once you blend it in. It's kind of hard to keep that nice little angle and line. It's kind of dispersed out onto my cheek in a bit of a stripe, which I'm not a massive fan of. I'm going to do the same thing on the other cheek and load up my brush, but then I think I'm going to blend it in with my Beauty Blender. I think one of my main pitfalls when it comes to contouring is that I can't ever match them up. It's like winged liner. I just can't get them in the same place. I feel like you get so much more control with this. It kind of just places it and blends it out exactly where you're tapping. I can already see the difference. This one just looks like a stripe. This one looks a little bit more like a proper cheekbone. Bear in mind, this could be all down to my pore technique and I'm just not doing this right. I actually really like the size of this one though. It does get in all kinds of places, which is great. So if you want to only invest in one, I feel like this probably is the one, or maybe the size up. I feel like I could even do my foundation with this and be pretty happy with it. Wow, okay, I did not think I would spend over half an hour talking about 2 brushes, but those are the Artis Oval brushes. These definitely have their strengths and their weaknesses, but I have to say I kind of like them. They're just pretty much cool to use. and something a bit different. So I think with getting used to, I could really, really love these. So I have something kind of fun here, which is not my normal thing, but you guys always comment telling me change things up, do something a little bit different. So here we go. This is a blue eyeliner. In fact, it's not even blue, it's teal, and this is from Dolce & Gabbana. I think this is part of their summer collection. I'm pretty sure it's still available. But you know what? I've actually been really liking this. I got this very recently, and I'm just going to pop a little bit of this on quickly because I have two mascaras that I bought today that I want to show you guys, and I feel like you're going to be able to see them a lot better if I'm not wearing thick black eyeliner. But yeah, blue liner is something that I've been really, really drawn to recently. Totally out of my comfort zone when it comes to makeup, but I like this a lot. I am a really big fan of this colour eyeliner, which is something that I never thought I would say. Teal eyeliner. Loving teal eyeliner, but I do. So I'm going to pop on some mascara now, and like I said, I have two. So there is one person to blame for me buying these two mascaras, and that is Lydia. Lydia is one of my favourite people. If you're not subscribed to her yet, I highly recommend you do so. I'll leave all her links down below so you can go and check those out. But I was watching her Snapchat and I saw her lashes and they just looked insane, and she happened to mention what she was using on them, which were these two mascaras. And I'm never one to really layer mascaras, mainly because I'm just so lazy when it comes to makeup. I like to kind of get things done and get out the door. But she had on the L'Oreal Volume Million Lashes So Couture, and then on the top the False Lash Sculpt, and the results were amazing. So I kind of wanted to buy these two and see if I could recreate that on myself. So this first one here is kind of more of a short and stubby bristle wand, and then the False Lash has just about the weirdest brush I think I've ever seen on a mascara. I'm not really sure how to explain this. It kind of looks like a spoon to me, almost. Very strange, very weird, but I feel like this one will really kind of sculpt the lashes. So you guys know that I am a massive lover of L'Oreal mascaras. Every single one that I've tried, I really have fallen in love with. I love the Miss Manga mascara, the telescopic. I went on and on about that one for so long. So maybe we have a potential new mascara love with these two. Okay, that is the base. My eyelashes are a bit weird at the moment. I feel like I'm missing a few. I've been rubbing my eyes a lot recently. They've been really, really sore, which I know is just about the worst thing to do, but I feel like I've lost a few. There's been a few eyelash casualties recently. I'm going to keep going on this side because I want to see the difference between the two. So I'm just going to, I think, place this on top and see how much more I can kind of comb this out. Oh wow, okay. This is adding serious length. I mean, it's making my lashes look way longer than they actually are. But it's not clumping up. That's the worry that I have when it comes to layering mascaras, because I know so many people do it and it looks amazing on them, but for me, I feel like they always just get too clumpy and too thick. The nice thing about this little spoon bit at the bottom is that it really gets into the shape of your eye. I do like curved mascara ones for that reason. So minus the gap that I'm pretty sure I have in the middle of my lashes, I think that is pretty insane. I'm looking straight at you so you can see exactly what it looks like. So massive shout out to Lydia for finding these two and putting them together, because that is some pretty insane mascara action. The last new makeup purchase that I have to show you today is of course a lipstick, and this is from Kevyn Aucoin. This is one of the matte lip colours, and I have, I think, only one other shade from this range, and I honestly don't know why, because it is one of my all-time favourite lipsticks ever. The colour, the formula, everything about it is incredible. So I was looking at them today and I thought, why have I not bought more of these? And this shade in particular just stood out to me so much. It is a beautiful corally pink shade. So I'm going to put this on, and as you can see, these are so pigmented, but while they're still a matte lipstick, they just feel so creamy, and they stay creamy for the whole day. They don't ever set down and dry, but they really stay in place quite well. They're just incredibly comfortable to wear, and again, I don't know why I don't have more of these. It's the kind of lipstick that you just want to sit there and apply forever. Okay, I knew this was going to be a good shade when I bought it, but I absolutely love that. I think it is so pretty. Actually kind of works a little bit with the blue eyeliner. I wasn't expecting that. So we've kind of ended up with a pretty summery look when it's basically autumn right now in the UK. I'm looking outside and all I can see is rain. But I hope you enjoyed this haul. It's so nice just to sit down and chat. It's been a while, so yeah, I feel like I needed this. Let me know what you thought of this very spontaneously put together look. And if you have any of these bits, if you like them, particularly the Artis brushes, if you are the proud owner of one or more of those, let me know how you use it and what you like about it, and if there's something that I'm doing completely wrong. And that is it for me today. Thank you all so much for watching and being here with me, guys. I will see you all soon. Bye!